My name is Daryl, and as the founder of Bloodwork Blueprint and a natural bodybuilding competitor since 2012, I spent nearly 2 decades optimizing my health through regular blood testing and evidence-based practices. And after helping over 50 plus men live longer through data-backed lifestyle decisions, I put together an entire guide to live longer based on science. There are all these people online telling you to eat steak, avocado, and 10 eggs a day. And this could be right for some people, but I'm about to show you what is right for you to age slower, take back control of your health, and live to triple digits. The first thing you need to understand is that we are in the middle of a paradigm shift in how we think about aging. The old model assumes you stay relatively healthy until your 60s or 70s, then slowly break down with chronic disease for the next 10 to 20 years before death. But that's not how it has to work. There is another way. You can stay active, sharp, and independent for decades with only a brief slowdown near the very end. This is what longevity experts like Peter Attia call squaring the curve, maintaining high function and health well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond, then experiencing a much shorter period of decline. But here's the crazy thing. This isn't just about living longer. It's about living better for longer. Imagine being 90 and still playing tennis, exploring the world, and enjoying your independence, not stuck in a hospital bed or nursing home. But that kind of future doesn't happen by accident. It starts by exposing the hidden threats that cut life short before its time. To live to 100, you first need to understand what you're up against. Dr. Peter Attia calls them the 4 horsemen, the 4 major diseases of aging that prevent most people from reaching their potential lifespan. Those are heart disease, cardiovascular, cancer, neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's, and metabolic dysfunction like diabetes or obesity. These 4 horsemen account for about 80% of deaths in developed countries. But here's the cool insight. They all share common underlying mechanisms. They don't just randomly appear one day. They develop slowly over decades. Take Steve, one of my clients. At 43, his blood work revealed dangerously high heart markers, elevated cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides. His blood sugar was also very concerning. But after implementing targeted diet and exercise changes, he lowered all these markers by up to 40% in just 6 months. The key insight is that these diseases aren't inevitable. They're largely preventable if you start early enough and take the right approach. And that approach begins with knowing your numbers. You can't improve what you don't measure. That's why the foundation of living to 100 is establishing your baseline through comprehensive testing. Here are the critical biomarkers you need to track. First, cardiovascular markers for your heart health. ApoB is far more predictive of heart disease than standard cholesterol tests. While most doctors only check total cholesterol and LDL, ApoB tells you how many potentially harmful particles are actually circulating in your bloodstream. Dr. Attia states, ideally you want your ApoB around 30 to 40 milligrams per deciliter if you are at risk or have a family history of atherosclerosis cardiovascular disease. Attia says he sees no reason why anyone should have their ApoB greater than 60 milligrams per deciliter. Second is metabolic health. Is your body utilizing energy correctly? We can keep this in check by avoiding metabolic syndrome, a group of health problems like high blood pressure, blood sugar, and belly fat that raise your risk of heart disease and diabetes. Fasting glucose, insulin, and HbA1c reveal how well your body processes sugar. Even slightly elevated levels can accelerate aging across all systems. Signs of metabolic syndrome include high blood pressure, high triglycerides, low HDL, central adiposity, and elevated fasting glucose. Third is inflammatory markers, quietly damaging blood vessels and organs, increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other major illnesses. 2 good ones to track are high sensitivity CRP and homocysteine. Fourth are your hormones for building muscle, energy, drive, and strength. Testosterone, thyroid function, and cortisol all impact energy, muscle maintenance, and overall vitality. But blood work is just the beginning. You also need to assess your physical capacity through VO2 max testing, your cardiorespiratory fitness, strength metrics like grip strength, sleep quality, and heart rate variability, and advanced imaging like CCTA scans. When I work with clients, we often discover critical issues the regular doctors missed. Pavel, a 29-year-old business owner who seemed perfectly healthy, discovered his cholesterol markers were significantly elevated and his HbA1c was 6.0, technically pre-diabetic. This silent metabolic dysfunction was setting him up for serious serious problems down the road. But once you know your numbers, you can build a personalized longevity engine. And if you want the full checklist of the most important health and longevity biomarkers, along with the optimal ranges to aim for, just click the link below for access. Living to 100 requires a 4-part engine that powers your daily life. Think of these as the non-negotiable pillars. What and when you eat matter enormously. The most consistent dietary pattern associated with longevity is a Mediterranean-style approach. Abundant vegetables, fruits, nuts, olive oil, fish, and limited processed foods. But equally important is when you eat. Implementing a 12 to 16 hour daily fast window activates autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup process that removes damaged components. I've seen remarkable improvements in clients' inflammatory markers and insulin sensitivity just by having them stop eating after 7 p.m. and delay breakfast until 7 to 9 a.m. the next day. Food drives the engine, but without movement, you won't get far. Exercise is the most powerful longevity drug. Dr. Peter Attia calls this training for the centurion decathlon, building the physical capacity now that will allow you to maintain independence at 100 years of age. This requires zone 2 cardio with 3 to 4 sessions weekly where you can still talk, but you're almost out of breath. VO2 max, 1 to 2 sessions a week, all-out cardio intervals with rest. Strength training, 2 to 3 sessions focusing on compound movements and mobility work to maintain your range of motion. The research is clear. A 2018 study showed that people with cardiorespiratory fitness were 5 times more likely to die from all causes during the follow-up period than those with elite fitness levels. VO2 max is your body's max oxygen use during exercise, and higher levels mean better health and longer life. Based on the study, someone with a VO2 max of 50 would have an 180% lower relative risk of dying than someone with a score of 30. Attia says 52 to 53 milliliters per minute per kilogram would be elite for a 50-year-old. And for reference, elite endurance athletes can score 70 or higher. Here's what you could do about it. Do high-intensity intervals, such as 4 minutes hard, 3 minutes easy, and repeat 3 to 4 times. Strength is equally crucial. Men with higher grip strength relative to body weight have up to 41% lower risk of dying from heart disease and a 34% lower risk of all-cause mortality, according to a 17-year study published in 2020. For reference, a healthy 25-year-old has grip strength of 50 kilograms or 110 pounds of force, says a 2025 study out of the Journal of Sport and Health Science. Grip strength decreases substantially as we age. To improve this, you can buy an 100-pound grip trainer to squeeze and practice timed deadlift hangs on a pull-up bar at your home or gym. But training hard means nothing if your body doesn't recover. That's where sleep comes in. Sleep is when your body repairs and rejuvenates. Consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep is non-negotiable for longevity. During deep sleep, your brain clears waste products, your body releases growth hormone, and your immune system recharges. I've seen clients transform their health just by optimizing sleep through consistent bedtimes, cooler bed temperatures, and eliminating blue light exposure before bed. You can sleep 8 hours, but if stress is unchecked, your body stays in survival mode. Stress management is the often overlooked pillar. Chronic stress accelerates aging at the cellular level by shortening telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. Implementing daily stress management through meditation, breath work, or time in nature can dramatically improve heart rate variability, a key marker in the nervous system balance. When these 4 components work together, they create a powerful synergy that can potentially add decades to your life. But even if you master all of this, none of it matters if you're flying blind without real data. Living to 100 isn't a one and done process. It requires ongoing monitoring and adjustments. Recheck your blood work every 3 to 6 months to track improvements and catch any issues early. This is exactly how Kevin, a 42-year-old triathlete client, discovered he was severely deficient in key electrolytes and nutrients despite being incredibly fit. This was causing him to cramp during races and limiting his performance. Early detection is particularly crucial for cancer. The difference between catching cancer at stage 1 versus stage 3 or 4 can literally be life or death. Try considering more aggressive screening schedules than standard guidelines recommend, especially if you have family history. According to Globocan 2022 data, the top 5 deadliest cancers among men worldwide are lung cancer, colorectal cancer, liver cancer, stomach cancer, and prostate cancer. Once you've mastered the fundamentals, you can consider more advanced strategies to extend your health span. First is diagnostics. The Ezra Blueprint MRI, aka the world's best MRI protocol, developed with Brian Johnson, is the most advanced full-body health scan, screening for cancers in 500 plus conditions across 13 organs, brain, joints, and arteries using MRI, CT, and AI to create a digital health baseline for early detection and longevity. Scans range from $1,300 to close to $5,700 for their most advanced. And once you've established a precise health baseline, you can begin to influence your biology at the cellular level. Peptides. These are short chains of amino acids that signal your body to repair and regenerate. For longevity and recovery, biohackers often use BPC 157 and TB4 to speed up healing of joints, tendons, and soft tissue. Thymosin alpha 1 to strengthen immune defense, and CJC 1295 or ipamorelin to boost natural growth hormone for recovery and fat loss. They also use epitalin, which may support cellular youth by influencing telomere length. But if you're looking to go even deeper into regeneration and physical resilience, there's another frontier that biohackers are turning to: stem cells. These are your body's master repair cells, used to accelerate healing, reduce inflammation, particularly mesenchymal stem cells, and regenerate damaged joints, muscles, and tendons. Sourced from umbilical cords and bone marrow, they're designed to help you recover faster, move pain-free, and keep your body performing like it's decades younger. Of course, healing tissue is one thing, but rewriting the genes that control aging takes it to another level. That's where gene therapy comes into play. CRISPR has made gene editing real, with therapies already treating diseases like blindness. For longevity, it may one day target aging genes like PCSK9, which naturally lowers LDL and heart disease risk. Next is follistatin gene therapy. It's an experimental treatment designed to enhance muscle growth, reduce fat, and potentially slower aging. A company based out of Honduras called MiniCircle is offering this for $25,000 per treatment. After 6 months, Brian Johnson, a famous biohacker, noted that he had a 7% gain in muscle mass, reduced the speed of aging, and had 160% increase in his follistatins, which reduces inflammation and improves tissue repair. The effects of this wear off after 18 months, so you will have to redose. If injections and experimental therapies aren't your path, there are also evidence-based medications that have been proven to work. When appropriate, certain medications can significantly reduce risk, such as statins or PCSK9 inhibitors for those with elevated cholesterol and ApoB despite lifestyle changes. Metformin is also used for those with metabolic concerns. Even the best tools won't work if you're missing the key micronutrients. You can tackle this with targeted supplementation. While most supplements aren't magic bullets, addressing specific deficiencies can be powerful. At a minimum, consider multivitamins, vitamin D3 and K2, omega-3s, magnesium. You can also do creatine, zinc, collagen, and L-glutamine. And I'm not sponsored, but if you want to have an easy, done-for-you system, I would look at Brian Johnson's longevity stack, where he has pills and powders to take, which has all this science-backed, third-party tested supplements. It's what I use personally, and he's constantly updating it based on new evidence and what he finds working and what's not working. Remember, these advanced strategies should build upon, not replace, the foundational pillars that we covered. No matter which strategies you choose, the real key to longevity isn't just what you do, it's how often you adjust based on feedback. The final component of living to 100 is creating a continuous feedback loop. Test, tweak, and repeat. Your body is constantly changing, and what works today may need adjustment tomorrow. By regularly testing biomarkers and physical capacity, you can fine-tune your approach for maximum health. If you're serious about living to 100 with vitality, start by getting comprehensive blood work to establish your baseline. This isn't just a standard panel. You need to look at all the markers we've discussed. Then work with someone who can help you interpret the results and create a personalized protocol. This is exactly what I do for my clients. I analyze over 60 biomarkers to create a clear picture of your health and develop tailored action plans. And my program includes monthly one-on-one coaching calls, blood work analysis, personalized diet and workout plans, and continuous optimization based on your results. Remember, living to 100 isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. And it all starts with understanding your unique biology and making data-driven decisions.